First question, Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Cliff, we saw the team added Devin to a 10-day contract. What did you guys see with Devin over the course of his time with you, and then over his course of his time in Lakeland?
Well, he had a good year. And I mean, obviously it makes sense for us because he knows what we're doing, and he actually stepped in today, and he has, he's very bright, and he's a very good competitor, and he stepped in today in practice, and I'd say most of it he was able to do, pretty seamlessly.
Josh Robbins, The Athletic. Sorry, Josh, we can't hear you. We'll go over to Philip Rossman-Reich, Orlando Magic Daily.
Hey, Coach. I know you mentioned the rebounding after Sunday's game. Obviously hitting and being physical is important, but what are you seeing from the team on the defensive glass, especially? The numbers seem to have flipped completely since the trade deadline as guys are figuring out how to play there.
Yeah, it's one of the things we talked about today. It's a big point. And, against especially a team like that on the road, we did a lot of good things, and there were a lot of things to build on, but you can't, have any aspect of the game. It was really that. To me, it was the rebounding. And then, we're up one with the ball with 5 minutes left, and it was just, blown sets and blown coverages. And that's what we have to get to. There's obviously a newness about the group. But again, we can either be easy on ourselves and say we haven't been together long, or we can fix it, and that's what we tried to work towards today.
How do you go about fixing, rebounding? Because I mean, it's not something that's a set play design. It's will, it's, knowing your position and all that stuff.
100% physicality, determination, pursuit. I mean, look, I'll give you an example. We went to Charlotte. They had been 29th in defensive rebounding the year before. We did 0 drills and we were like second. That's it. I mean, look, you're either going to do it or you're not. And it does speak to, who we want to become as a team. So again, you can do all these other things and get better. And if we're not going to rebound, it's not going to matter.
Chris Hayes, Orlando Sentinel.
Hey, Cliff, how you doing?
Good, Chris.
I was wondering, with all the new faces and everything, and the inability to really get some good practice time in, how has that been for you, especially today?
Today was excellent. We flew yesterday, so the guys were able to, we didn't have one of those 5 a.m. arrivals in Orlando, and they're still a little bit tired, but they were really good today. And we did a lot of what you talked about, just team organizational things, flash defense, pick and roll defense, defensive protection, a lot of 5-on-0 offense just to get organized, with some against switching, some against different catch and shoots. We added a couple of offensive sets, and I thought the guys were really good. So we'll be able to do something similar to this on Thursday, and I think it can help a lot.
With so many new faces, how has it been for you just to assess how they've gotten together?
Well, the film is the big thing, I mean, that's the way you're going to learn the most. And again, I think it's been a lot more good than bad, and I think our energy level and our effort, except in Utah, where it wasn't good, was very good, on the trip. The execution part is, there's no way around it. Like I told him today in this league, you can't just think about, there's 2 parts of basketball. There's the individual part, which speaks to numbers, points and rebounds. And you know what? Like I told the guys today, I heard this the first year I was in the NBA, and it's so true. There's guys that put up numbers, points, and rebounds, and their teams never play well when they're on the floor. And there's guys that help the teams function, and they don't score a lot of points and they don't rebound. Those are the winning players. There's an individual aspect of basketball and there's a team aspect, and you can't be good at one or the other. You've got to be able to do both. And, that's what we have to learn here in these 22 days, is how to play together. Guys have to be able to play in a manner where they're efficient offensively, they're rebounding well, and the team plays well when they're on the floor. That's the whole challenge.
Thanks, Cliff.
Let's try again with Josh Robbins.
I'm not so sure I'm going to get this to work. Can you hear me now? All right. I swear I was unmuted, but I'm an incompetent with regard to computer stuff. Anyway.
Just so you know, in this building, I just told the younger guys, we're not allowing any more excuses. No more my bads. Let's get the mutant thing fixed, would you?
My excuse is that I'm an incompetent. It's that simple, man. For fans who are not familiar with Devin Cannady, who didn't see him in Lakeland, what does he bring on the court in addition to what you described before in terms of his ability to pick things up quickly?
Yeah, range shooter. Very good without the ball. I think a very good natural competitor. If you go back even, Josh, to the one of the 2 exhibition games in Atlanta, he came right in and very confident, very assertive. And he learns well. So we liked having him around before. He had a terrific year in Lakeland, and he can step on the floor in an NBA game and play well.
Back to Dan Savage.
Cliff, I know you mentioned that Cole and Gary Harris might be closer when you got back from the trip. Were they able to do anything today? And I know there's probably about 7 other guys who had various levels of injury, illness, who was able to go through things today.
So Cole and Gary both. I'm going to say this: Otto didn't go; he can't go yet. Kareem can't go yet, but Kim, MCW, Cole, Gary. I think those are guys that weren't able to play yesterday or 2 days ago. They all did practice. Now we didn't do contact, but we did do. We worked at a good pace, and they were all. They were all fine. And depending on how he feels tomorrow, there's a chance that Cole could play. Gary is not ready to play yet.
Jamie Say, WKMG.
Hey, Steve. Just specifically Wendell and RJ, what did you see from them on the road trip as you get to know those guys a little bit better?
Well, I would say, Wendell obviously had a terrific start here. If you look at the 2 wins, you could make an argument that he was as important a player as there was on the floor for us. And I love the way he competed with Jokic. So much of this league is when you play against the elite players, it's just your mentality about playing against them, and he actually reminded me of, that's how Jameer was. Jameer was a very good player, but when you played against the superstars, those were you could see he had a different look in his eye. And I thought that Wendell really competed well against Jokic. And I think RJ's younger, obviously, and less experienced. Wendell's played a lot of NBA games. And I think I like the way he listens and he's learning. And it's not easy now. He's a younger player. He hasn't been around the NBA for 3 years where, he's seen all these things. But he's a good athlete, and I thought he competed well when he was in there.
Back to Josh Robbins.
Steve, I know you're a coach and not an epidemiologist, but have you and the staff figured out how a team that has been so strong at avoiding COVID managed to get a flu bug at the same time it's done so well with the pandemic?
Yeah, I don't know. And I'll tell you, Josh, I felt bad for those guys. You when you see them, hopefully they'll be better, but they've lost weight. And they, even yesterday when we landed, they didn't look great, but they all came in today. They all tried hard to play. I don't even know what the answer is, but this wasn't like a little flu or something like that. They were really, all of them, very sick.
All right. I think that'll do it. Thank you.